With this cold weather moving in, it's time to make sure we are protecting our property as well as ourselves. Have you given any thought of preparing your car for the cold weather? For more information on that, just need to stay and to be done to winterize our vehicles. We turned out our good friend Cliff Hudson from Hudson's Import Service. And I'll tell you what, some folks may be freaking out with these temperatures, but we were talking right before the commercial break, if people acknowledge what their book says, what their owner's manual says, for this area, they're doing okay.
Right, and that's the thing. You know, we've made a lot about, cold weather operation over the years, because many years ago, you and I have been driving a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Color of the hair tells,
yes,
okay?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Remember the choke knobs we had to pull out?
Oh, yeah, man.
Pump the gas 5 or 6 times, crank the car
I'm a
up.
little older
okay.
than you. I remember having to used to push the left foot all the way down to hit the starter.
Yeah,
that was a few years ago.
Funny.
That was a few years ago. Yes, sir.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to do the crank thing on the front.
No, I didn't. No. But you guys at Hudson Service, they're so well and so skilled at what they're doing, and things need to be done on a periodic basis.
And that's the point. If you're servicing your car to the bare minimum of the manufacturer specs, then your oil's changed, your antifreeze or the engine coolant's checked regularly. We don't have concern for freeze protection. Your windshield washer fluid is having antifreeze added to it, the proper, not the same that goes in your engine. But yeah, there's really not a lot to do. And, that's not exciting, and that's not sexy, and that doesn't get a lot of, that doesn't make a great tease for the evening news that has you on the edge of your seat. But literally, what I do is I service my car the way the manufacturer says. I get in it every morning, just like I did this morning. Perfect example. I crank it up.
And this is important, what you're saying.
Yeah, we've all got fuel.
Exactly.
We've had fuel injection for the better part of 3 decades. Nothing elaborate to do. If you have to mash your gas or do anything other than to press a clutch pedal and turn a key to start your car, something's wrong. So I fire it up. It's sitting there idling, just like at the racetrack. Someone yells, "Driver, start your engines." They crank them up. They let them idle. They run around the track 2 or 3 laps at slow speed. Once they're completely up to temperature, then they turn them loose and they race. And we do the same thing in a sense. I crank it up. It sits there and idles. As it idles, I put on my seatbelt. I flip my mirror from night back to day. I just kind of look around, make sure there's not a dog or something in front of the car. I drop it and drive. I ease out of my yard. I run at a slow speed, meaning you don't take a dead cold car and stomp it wide open throttle and let it rev all the way to red line.
Let those fluids run through.
Right. Let all the fluids get up to temperature. Once you've done that, by the time I've done that, I'm to the interstate where I jump on 526 and I'm cruising to work at 60 miles an hour. At least that's what I'll claim I'm doing.
Now, one of the best things also is to check your tire pressure during the cold weather.
Sure.
That does vary a little bit.
Yeah, my wife called me 2 days ago. Tire pressure lights on, only because air molecules expand and contract when heated and cooled. And even though my tires were close to proper pressure, that super cold morning dropped them under pressure, and we got a warning light. Not everyone has the warning systems.
Now, when folks come in to Hudson Import Services, there's a variety of services that you guys do perform.
Sure.
What are some of the most common services that y'all perform on the
Well,
cars?
most everyone now knows they need to change the oil. Most people now are acclimated to the fact that at least something besides an oil change needs to be done periodically. That gets missed a lot, but that's really it. If you're following the manufacturer's bare minimum standards, we're looking at the car from one bumper to the other. So there isn't a grave concern for cold weather. Now, if we have extreme cold, we've had some of those mornings, and I've lived here a long time. I remember like an 18-degree morning. In extreme cold, we got a couple situations like if you're still putting a key in your door, if you don't have remote, the door lock will freeze. Can't get a key in your car. One day I went to open my door, the door was frozen solid. Extreme cold situations. But unlike the guys or the people who used to live up north, they used to have to change their oil to a thinner oil. They used to have to improve their antifreeze protection. We're to the point now in the automobile and the level of technology, the oils are so thin, the antifreezes are so good. Again, if the car, biggest 2-letter word in the English language, if the car is being maintained to the minimum specs of the manufacturer, really there's not a lot to do except use your common sense. And by the way, that cranking and driving habit about easing around until it gets warm up, that's 12 months out of the year, summer and winter. Same situation applies.
Good to see you, my friend. Yes, sir.
Good to see you.
Hudson's Import Service. You check them out right there at 1072 Johnny Dobbs Boulevard. Give them a call. And by the way, if you are local here and you may be driving up north, where they do have some colder weather, they can fix your car up as well to make sure it's going to be on the safe side. We got more coming up after the break, so stay with us.